Hi everyone, I'm Kanika Saxena from kanikasaxena.com. Hope you're all doing well. Today, I'm here to share my story of how I became an entrepreneur. My story is a little interesting because it is this story that has won me several awards in the year 2021, and I have been told by many people to share my story because they look up to me as an inspiration. So, here goes. I'll start my story from the year 1990 when I graduated as an engineer in Instrumentation Technology from JC College, Mysore. I completed my degree with distinction. I started my career as a lecturer in a college in Bangalore. And but it was always my dream to work in the corporate world. So I worked hard and prepared for all the public sector tests for joining a public sector organization in India. Luckily for me, all my efforts bore fruit, and I was selected by many public sector companies in India. I chose to work at SAIL, State Authority of India, and after working there for some time, I switched my career and I started working for another public sector called MECON, which is a consulting firm, engineering consulting firm. I was working at MECON when I got married, and my husband was from another city, that's Mumbai. And fortunately for me, MECON had a branch in Mumbai, and I was transferred to that branch, so I did not have to think about giving up my career, and I could continue. I worked at MECON for a specific project where we were setting up a chemical plant, and it was for the cable design and cable layout, for which I was working in the instrumentation department. And after about 1 year, when the project came to a close, all the people working at the project office were transferred to different branches of MECON in India. And as luck would have it, I was also transferred to Delhi for another project. But since my husband and his family were stationed at Mumbai, I decided not to go to Delhi, and this is when I resigned from my position as assistant design engineer. And this is the time I started looking out for a new job. Fortunately for me, Mumbai is a city of opportunities, and I soon landed a great job of a marketing engineer with a leading instrumentation company called Forbes Marshall. So I was working in their marketing office at Mumbai, and their works were located at Pune at that time. So this was going on quite well. I was doing well in my career, and I was quite happy with my job. And being a very, very career minded lady, I was quite happy with the work that I was doing. And in 1996, I conceived, I had my first baby, a son. And this is the time I was at crossroads whether what I should do about my career, whether I should give time to my baby or I should work. And I'm a person who gives 100% to whatever she does. And it was very difficult for me to, imagine working. I was still on maternity leave, whether I will be able to do justice to my job or to my baby. So at that time, I just sat and thought to myself, and this is what came to me, the thought that came to me, it struck me at that time. I felt that the organization, Forbes Marshall, would sooner or later find a replacement to take over my role. But the role of a mother in my child's life is something that cannot be replaced. What I can do for him as a mother, nobody else can do. This was my thought, and this is when I decided that I would quit my job. And when I quit my job, that was the month that I received my highest salary until then. But it didn't matter. For me, what mattered was my baby. And this is why I decided that I would stay at home. I chose to be a stay at home mother. But it was not easy giving up a job and staying at home. I always felt inadequate, and this is when I decided to take admission for MBA. And I got through the competitive test of Indira Gandhi National Open University and sought admission for MBA in marketing, which was my last job, and I loved it. So I wanted to pursue my MBA in marketing. So I was managing my baby and my course, and I was busy with my projects and assignments and exams. And then I had my second child in 1999, a daughter. So, but I still continued, and I completed my diploma in management with good grades. And this is when and I just after I completed my diploma, my husband received an offer for an excellent job in Dubai. So we had to move to Dubai, and I could not complete my MBA because the institution did not have a branch in Dubai, and technology was not so advanced that distance learning or any kind of education could be carried out in a place like Dubai when the institute was located in India. So yeah, that was it, and I was a completely dedicated mother. I was at home. I was all the time with my children, and I gave 100% again to the family and home. And my children did extremely well in school. Both of them have been toppers in their class, and that was a great satisfaction for me. And I would look at their achievements as my achievement, and I was quite content the way things were. So this continued, and after about 12, 13 years of stay in Dubai, we moved back to India. And fortunately for me, during my stay in Dubai, I had an opportunity to visit over 20 countries. And after we returned to India mainly because for college education for my kids, because I always looked up to Indian curriculum and Indian education, both my husband and me, because we have studied here and we have done well for ourselves. So we looked up to Indian education, and we wanted to our kids to study in India. And this is when we returned. Fortunately for me, again, my children did very well in India. They got through the tough competitions, and got admissions in the best institutes in their streams in India. After both the children went to the university, there was a vacuum. I was lost. I did not know what to do. I had a lot of time on my hands. And this is when I thought I started toying with the idea of working once again. So where I was staying in Mohali, Punjab, there were a number of institutes that gave coaching for IELTS exams. So I thought I would join one of these institutes and become a teacher there. But even though I was not too fond of teaching, but I thought, okay, this is the only thing possible. But when I went there, I was told that I'm not eligible because I do not know the local language, Punjabi. It was quite justified because most of the students who came to learn English came from rural areas and who were not good at English. That's why they were learning. So somebody had to communicate to them in their local language so that they could understand and learn the subject. So then again, I was stranded. I didn't know where to go, what to do. And this is when I started looking online for jobs, and I came across this interesting job for content writer. And as I looked through more ads and I tried to understand what the job was about, I realized that the main thing that the role of a writer needed was good communication skills. And I thought that, okay, I'm quite okay on that front. And I started applying for the job. And I was in my late 40s. When I went for interviews, some companies rejected me only because of my age, because they had their own doubts whether I would continue, whether I would be able to take the pressure and work according to, in an IT company, adapt to the new ways of working. So they had their doubts, understandable. But fortunately for me, one company, Webguruz Technologies in Mohali, saw some potential in me and they hired me. And finally, I had a job. I was taken as a fresher in the field of content writing. I was not given any leverage for my previous work experience. I was just taken as a fresher. So, and the salary of a fresher is not something that, you would like to flaunt. So I was a little not very happy with the salary, but I was very happy that I finally had a job. In fact, some of the people in my close circle who got to know my salary were shocked that I was working for such a salary, and they even mocked me. But it didn't matter. I was too happy, and I was working, and that I was working, and within about 15-20 days, I learned what exactly I was expected to do, and I started doing well in my job, and I started liking what I was doing. Also, in this organization, it was a young organization, and everybody was younger to me. So I had to report to bosses and take orders from people who were much younger to me. But again, for me, it was the work that was important, and these things did not matter. So I continued, and in 2 months, I bagged the Employee of the Month award, which was a great honor. I also went on to win the Diamond Author Badge on Zine Articles, which is an international article writing site. This was for the company, and this is a very coveted badge, and because I won it, I became an asset for my company. And 7 months after down the line, I was promoted as a team lead, and I had several salary revisions during this period, and my salary became a much respectable one within 7-8 months. I soon had a team of writers. There were some fresh writers without any experience. There were some experienced writers reporting to me. So in fact, there were some writers with more experience in writing than me. But they all listened to me, and I guided them. I groomed the writers. Our team did very well, and in fact, at that time, my company had a lot of content writing projects, and we were always delivering quality content well within the scheduled time. This went on for some time. My team did extremely well, and we went on to win the Team of the Year award shortly after that. But I worked between 2016 and 2018. By the end of 2018, I decided that I would do something on my own, and I quit my job. I started working as a freelance writer, and I had by then, developed a passion for writing. I just loved my work. I was fortunate that I got clients quite easily, and in fact, my company Webguruz Technologies also hired me as a freelance writer for some of their work. So it was going on quite smoothly, everything was going well, and I had a great track record with all my clients. That whoever I started working with, I have been continuing to work with them till date. None of the clients have, given up on me, so that has been great. Thank God for that. And then came the pandemic in 2020. So some of the clients, they had to reduce the work because of the condition. International clients in the US, UK, so they had problems, and because of that my work suffered. So this is the time I had. This was when I had some time on my hands, and I decided to fulfill my long cherished dream of writing a book. And this is when I wrote my first book, A Lockdown Story. This book was about my lockdown experience, and how I overcame my fears, and I emerged a more positive person. It was book was published in June 2020. Around the same time, in May 2020, I started my company, my content marketing company. It's called The Writing Right. And yes, this is how I became an authorpreneur, an author and an entrepreneur. So, as time progressed, my company has grown. We are doing, I have a few writers, we are doing many more projects, and I have hired some digital marketers for my website. Also, my book writing, which has become a passion for me, that has also done well. I have published 5 books so far. So, this is my story, and this is the story that most people find very inspirational. I hope you do too. And yes, my children are still doing well. They are both pursuing their masters in some of the best universities in the world. So, I hope you like this video, and for more videos on my books and my life, do like, share, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Until next time. Bye bye.